Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all having a great day. Today I'm going to be reacting to the most recent video by MSA called The Most Unlucky Character in MSA History. That is quite a title right there. But if I've learned one thing from MSA videos, it's that the title and thumbnail usually don't make any sense. So I'm a little skeptical, but we'll see what's going on here. The link to the original video will be in the description below. Please like and subscribe, and without further ado, let's get watching this.
Hey, introducing
Hello.
the harmonica bottle. Hydrate,
what?
play, and surprise your friends. Be the star of any party, exclusively on
Okay.
Amazon. Grab yours now and let the fun begin. Link below. You know those stories about karma?
Yeah?
How people will do bad things and then horrible stuff happens to them as a result?
Yeah, I've seen quite a few of those videos on YouTube, like karma coming for horrible people, and occasionally karma happening for good people, too. Well, I think sometimes it happens, but, you know, there's no way to tell. Sometimes bad things happen, and people get away with it, and sometimes good things happen, and people don't get rewarded for it, so it's kind of hit or miss, honestly.
Oni, I don't believe it for a second.
Really, why not?
Why?
Yeah.
Because I try my hardest to be a good person.
Okay.
And I'm still riddled with bad luck.
Okay.
Take one day my freshman year, for example.
Alright.
My alarm didn't go off, so I overslept and was
That
late for school.
sucks.
As I pedaled frantically on my bike, my backpack unzipped itself, and
Oh.
all my books and papers flew out.
Alright, yeah, I think the title is starting to make some sense, but it sounds like this girl, sounds like she's having a really tough time already. I mean, this is already just like one morning within like the span of like, what, less than 30 seconds we're like watching this video. It's crazy. So, I wonder what kind of bad luck she'll experience next.
I had to stop and pick them up.
Alright.
When I had finally gathered up all my things, I tried to get back on my bike, but my skirt was stuck in the chain.
Aw, man.
I tried to wrench it loose and ended up ripping it.
Oh,
Ugh.
dang.
I was closer to school than home at that point, so I decided to just change into my gym shorts when I arrived.
Alright,
I
what's
got
gonna
on
go
my
wrong
bike
now?
and pedaled as hard as I could. I was so late.
Wow.
All of a sudden, I felt a bump and heard a popping noise.
Oh,
Then
no.
my back tire started to sink.
Man, I have no idea what your name is, but whatever your name is, you are really going through some bad luck. I mean, you oversleep, you lose your stuff around, your stuff falls out of your backpack, your clothes get ripped, and now you have a punctured tire on your bike. This just is, like, obviously one of the worst bad days I think I've ever seen in any form of media. That I can remember, anyway. I wonder how bad it will get. But let me know, if you had a similar bad day to what she's experiencing, let me know.
No! Anything but this!
Ah, that
I
sucks.
had run over a nail and got a flat tire.
Yep.
Dejectedly, I walked my bike all the way to school.
Okay, now what?
I was more annoyed than angry at that point. When I finally arrived, I grabbed a tardy slip from the office, quickly
All right.
changed into my shorts in the locker room, and went to my first period class,
Okay.
which I had almost missed entirely. Could this day get any worse?
Alright, whatever your name is, you just pretty much shot yourself in the foot at this point. Because if television has taught me anything, it's this. Never ask, could this day get any worse? Because just like clockwork, it will get worse. It's just like a law of nature, really.
Evidently, it could.
How so?
I had a big assignment due for second period.
Alright.
It was something I worked all weekend on. But when I went to grab it from my backpack, it was missing.
Oh, no, no. That's just horrible. Did it fall out of her backpack before, or did she leave it at home? Either way, that's gotta suck. You work all weekend on something, and then you can't turn it in. This just sucks so bad. I feel so bad for this character right now. And are we actually gonna get an introduction? We've been watching this video for like 2 minutes. Don't even know her name yet.
Must have missed picking it up when my backpack exploded on the ride over.
That's what I was thinking.
What did I do to deserve this? I felt like I might cry.
Oh, no.
But since that wouldn't help solve my problem,
It wouldn't.
and would only serve to embarrass me, I held back the tears.
Okay.
Instead, I went to my teacher and explained the problem.
Good call.
I'm afraid I'll have to dock points for tardiness.
Yes,
Ooh,
ma'am.
jeez.
I trudged back.
Oh, can we get a look at that teacher really quick? This little scene real quick?
I'm afraid I'll have to dock points for tardiness.
Jeez, this is one intimidating gaze right here. Like the background, just like the the waves right here in the background, this really does a good job of like conveying this intense emotion right here. Yeah, I wouldn't want to have to explain anything to this teacher, or really any teacher with this type of face and the background thing going on right here. That expression, ooh, yeah, that's just not good. I feel so bad for whoever this character is. Are we finally going to get a name soon?
Yes, ma'am. I trudged back to my desk. The rest of class seemed to pass by in slow motion.
Yeah, that
I
sucks.
sighed in relief when it was finally over. As I
Okay.
headed back to my locker, I heard some girls whispering from behind me.
What are they saying?
Wow, what a fashion statement. Think those shorts were on sale at Walmart?
I can't stand when people do this. I mean, I get bullying is just kind of a fact of life. Some people are just entitled, some people are just jerks. But if you're gonna bully someone, at least have the guts to do it to their face. Don't be a bunch of cowards and do it behind someone's back. If you're gonna try to give someone a hard time, just be upfront about it. Just have the guts to do it to their face. Or just better yet, just not bully anyone at all. Just mind your own business. Why are some people like this? I don't understand. It's just really immature, honestly.
Think she'll be trying out for the next top model.
Oh, come
They
on.
giggled and walked by me. I felt my face getting red. I
Understandable.
knew what a disaster my outfit was, but it was out of my control.
It doesn't look that
A
bad.
girl from my class, Becca, stopped by me
Okay,
and put
Becca.
a hand on my shoulder.
Hey, don't listen to them, Leah.
Finally.
Personally, I like the outfit you've got.
Leah, okay, we finally have an introduction. And it seems like Leah's not alone. Got Becca here providing some support, which is good. I think we all need a friend like Becca. Just who'll support you even when you're having a horrible day. Get you a friend like Becca.
It's pretty bold to pair red athletic shorts with a lime green blouse.
Really?
She winked at me to let me know she was joking.
Okay.
Thanks. But it wasn't intentional. My skirt got ripped on the bike ride to school.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, why didn't you say so? I always have a sewing kit on hand.
What? Like, who has a legit sewing machine in their backpack at all times? I can understand, like, just having, like, a little, like, needle and thread, maybe some buttons. But why would you carry this giant, bulky machine around? I mean, it's useful for this particular situation, don't get me wrong. But still, kind of strange.
Give it to me and I'll have it back to you by lunch.
Thanks, Becca.
Don't mention it.
I
Oh,
have
that's
to admit,
nice.
the good thing about having rotten luck is that you find out who the nicest people are. I
That's a
smiled
nice
to
way of looking
myself
at
and managed to make it to lunchtime.
You know, I've never thought of it that way. I mean, I've just generally viewed luck as either good or bad. I've never thought of, like, the positives of having bad luck. But, you know, I guess Leah's right. I mean, if you do have bad luck, then you can easily attract people who will be more likely to help you. Sure, you'll probably find people who will make fun of you, too. But, hey, you gotta take the good with the bad, I guess.
I didn't see Becca in the cafeteria, so I decided to grab a bite and save a spot for her.
Alright,
I
not
passed through the
inconsiderate.
lunch line and got a salad. As I was
What?
walking to an empty
Hold on, is that just literally one giant piece of lettuce? You mean you really call that a salad? I mean, sure, lettuce is the base of most salads, but still, could you put like some croutons or some tomatoes on it at least? That just seems like a very unsatisfying salad to me.
table, I slipped on a banana peel.
Oh
I
no.
wasn't aware people could actually do that. I thought that was only in cartoons.
Yeah.
I fell down, my food spilling all over my
Ah, man, that is crazy, but you know, it makes sense. I mean, in a weird way, this is kind of like a cartoon. It's animated, so in a way, it kind of makes sense. But I think if I remember right, there was an episode of Mythbusters where they showed that, like, people won't instantly slip on a banana peel, but it's more likely than you would than if you were just walking around. So you potentially can slip on one, but it won't be like instant cartoon laws of comedy where you just slip instantaneously. Just wanted to bring that out there.
dirt. Great. Not only was I publicly humiliated,
Oh,
but
come on,
even if I
guys.
got my skirt back, my blouse was still ruined.
Yep.
You okay?
Becca helped me up, and we sat down together.
Here's your skirt. I tried to fix it up as best as I could.
You know, I'm really starting to like Becca as a character. She just always seems to have Leah's interest at heart, always seems to have her back, and apparently she's really quick at sewing too. Like, I have no sewing experience, so I have no idea how long it would take me to mend that, but it seemed like it just took place within like a couple minutes. Yeah, so you get like top tier friend credit points for Becca here. We should all try to be so lucky as have a friend like Becca.
The stitching on the rip is slightly visible, but I tried to hide it as much as possible.
All right.
I really appreciate it.
Not a problem. I needed something to do in study hall anyway.
All right.
I sighed. Becca looked at me in sympathy.
Tough
Okay.
day, huh?
I pointed to my ruined blouse. Well, at this point, it really couldn't get any worse.
You had to say that, Leah? Really? I mean, you already said that once. You're gonna repeat the same mistake again and say things couldn't get any worse? It's guaranteed to get worse. I don't think this video is even halfway done. There's bound to be some more misfortune for you in the future, unfortunately. Which sucks, but hey, we gotta react to something.
But this is just par for the course for me.
What do you mean?
Oh, I've always just had bad luck.
Alright,
Better
backstory.
watch out. It might be contagious.
Aw, you don't really believe that, do you?
I shrugged and put my head on the table. It
Oh.
was quiet for a while. Then Becca nudged my arm.
I saw you dropped your lunch. Would you like some of my food?
Alright, I think, like, potentially her growling stomach will, like, pretty much say, yes, I would. Thank you very much. But this is just really nice that Becca's even willing to share her food, because let's be real, some people are just, like, completely selfish when it comes to their food. They won't bother helping. I mean, I think that's a global problem, too, because we have, like, millions of people who are living in hunger, and yet we make enough food every year to feed, like, 10 billion people. So, yeah, hunger is a problem. I know it's not like a global situation, this particular story, but it's nice to see that someone cares. And I was thinking, like, what they were talking about before, like, bad luck being contagious. I'm not sure about that. I think that just sometimes luck just happens. And I think sometimes you can make good luck kind of like based on what you do in a way. Like if you're nice to people, generally you'll have more positive outcomes. But if you're completely mean and ruthless, I doubt good things will happen to you very often. But you know, the world's complicated, so who knows?
My stomach growled as a response.
Yep.
Becca and I locked eyes, and then started to giggle.
That's
I finished
nice.
eating just as the bell rang. I was feeling a little better about life after that.
That's good.
Maybe this day was salvageable after all.
Maybe.
The rest of the afternoon passed by without anything major happening.
That's good.
I did get hit in the face during dodgeball,
Ow.
but that wasn't necessarily bad luck.
That's gotta be the worst. Sports injuries, especially like if you're like in PE or just on a team, that's gotta be the worst because not only potentially can it hurt a lot, but you have lots of other people there seeing your misfortune. So, I mean, it's not the worst thing that could happen, but it's not exactly pleasant either. And look at this guy. This guy just pointing and laughing in Leah's face. Seriously, dude, come on, grow up. Really.
I just lack any coordination or athleticism.
Okay.
When school was over, I gathered up my things and was ready to head out.
Makes
That
sense.
was when I remembered that I'd have to walk my bike all the way back
Oh,
home.
that's right.
Oh, well.
I actually completely forgot about that. The fact that this whole thing started, or rather things started getting worse because of her tire getting flat and her skirt getting ripped up and all this stuff that was happening while she was on her bike. That's just gotta be terrible. And then you have to walk it all home just to remember, oh yeah, this is one of the causes of my misfortune. Actually, really, it was her alarm going off late or not going off at all that caused the whole chain of events to start. But still, you know what I mean.
At least the day was almost over.
Okay, that's
I
good.
trudged to the bike rack and fumbled with the lock.
All right.
Suddenly, I heard a car honk behind me.
What's going on?
Leah, do you need a ride?
Cool.
I do. You're a lifesaver.
Put your bike in the trunk and let's go then.
Dang, is there any situation that Becca can't help Leah with? I mean, she already fixed her skirt, she gave her food, and now she's giving her transportation. I swear, she's like top tier friend material right here.
Man, am I lucky to have a friend like you.
Yes, you are.
Becca laughed.
Well, I guess there's the answer to your question.
What?
You were afraid that you're cursed with bad luck, right?
True.
You just said you're lucky to have me as a friend. So that proves that what you said isn't true.
No, that is a very good way of thinking about it. I mean, if you really have someone in your corner like Becca who's willing to put up with all this stuff and help you through thick and thin, then can you really call yourself unlucky? I mean, if Leah was completely alone with like no good friends or no support system, then yeah, she'd be a very unlucky person. But it seems right now her life really isn't all that bad, all things considered.
I paused, thinking about my day. Hey, I guess you're right.
Yes?
Of course
Yes, she is.
I am. Now hurry up. Maybe we can get some ice cream before I drop you off.
Sounds
I
good.
happily jumped into the passenger seat and off we...
Ah, that's funny. Yeah, I guess maybe bad luck or just at least clumsiness follows Leah around. I didn't expect to see that just fall flat on her face while trying to get to the door. That's funny.
drove. And that was how my best, worst day came to a
Oh,
close.
no.
And that was just one example of a...
Are you gonna go back for your bike? Is she gonna go back for her bike? I mean, because that just seems like a really important thing to leave behind, because it seems like she doesn't have a car of her own. So how are you gonna get around with a bike? I mean, I guess you could just walk or use the bus, but still, just get your bike, please.
typical day in my life.
Really?
I found ways to be grateful.
That's
even
good.
when my days were ridiculous. You would think that incident would have been the worst of my misadventures, but no. When senior year finally came around, I was all set to graduate.
All right, sounds
but the day
good.
of the ceremony, my cap and gown got misplaced.
Oh,
I
wow.
had to be the
Hold on. How on earth do you misplace something that important? I mean, in the grand scheme of things, the cap and gown for your high school graduation ceremony really isn't that big of a deal, because who really cares about high school graduation once you get out into the real world, you know what I mean? If you go to college or get a job or have a family, but at the moment, it seems like the most important thing on earth. But still, how do you misplace something that obvious? How do you misplace two blatantly distinct articles of clothing? That doesn't make sense.
only one who walked up on stage without them.
Kind of embarrassing.
On top of that, one of my heels broke when I was
Oh.
walking down the stairs of the stage. Thankfully,
Okay, so it looks like she wasn't at least seriously injured. That could have been a lot worse. Leah could have fallen and fractured her ankle or dislocated her shoulder or something. So that's at least somewhat positive. And I will never understand the rationale of high heels. I mean, I get it, they look good with certain clothes, and they make your legs look toned, and they make you look taller, but I just don't understand why they became popular. I mean, if they break, and you're not really designed to walk like that anyways, it just seems like it's more trouble than it's worth. But let me know in the comments below. Do you ever wear high heels, and how do you walk with them? Are you graceful when you walk with them, or are they just a pain to deal with?
I caught myself on the railing. Years of bad luck had prepared me for such occasions.
That's good.
When I got back to my seat, I looked down at my diploma.
Okay.
I bit back a curse as I realized they had spelled my name wrong.
Oh, no. Wait, was it Leech? That's horrible. You're gonna have to remember this moment for the rest of your life when you went through the hell that is high school, and this piece of paper will forever call you Leech. How do you make that type of mistake? I mean, I can understand if they spelled Leah completely incorrectly, gave it an extra E or spelled it with an I or something, but how do you make this type of error? What is going on in the administration office or wherever it is that they print diplomas? What's going on here?
The whole ceremony had been a bust.
Oh, boy.
But I was still looking forward to my graduation party afterwards.
That's nice.
I had invited all of my friends, and my parents had ordered a bunch of food and set up games and a...
Alright, so it looks like her situation isn't completely as hopeless as it looked before. I mean, she just said she had a good amount of friends, and it seems like her parents are involved with her life. I mean, they ordered good food and stuff, so it's not as hopeless as the title and the previous, several minutes suggest, so that's good.
photo booth. I was really looking forward to it.
Understandable.
It was supposed to be at the park, but
What
then
happened?
a thunderstorm came out of nowhere.
Oh, man, that's the worst. Weather, it can be a real pain sometimes. It's completely unpredictable. Even when you look at the weather forecast, it could just change in a heartbeat because, weather, climate, it's complicated. So even though you make plans, nature can be like, screw your plans, it's gonna be wet today. That's absolutely horrible.
Tried to salvage what we could and
All
moved
right.
the party inside to the local community hall.
Good plan.
But we had to share the space with a group that was having a retirement party.
Okay.
That was when my dad got...
I gotta say, that is quite a clash of vibes right there. You have the original group that was in here, who are all gray in their 60s plus, thinking, talking about retirement, and, what was it that old people are stereotyped to do? Play bingo or shuffleboard or just like things like that, being at retirement homes. And you have this group that has to come in, younger people who have started to graduate high school and they're trying to figure out what they want to do with their lives. How is this going to be salvageable?
Phone call from the catering service we were using.
What happened?
They wouldn't be able to deliver our food due to
Oh,
the bad weather.
wow.
I
That
was
sucks.
so disappointed and couldn't hide my feelings.
Oh,
My mom tried to cheer me up.
good.
She set up a few games and tried to keep the party going.
That's
But
nice.
soon, the storm knocked out the power,
Wow.
and we were sitting in the dark.
Wow, this really is a very bad day. I mean, it's just, I can't even explain how messed up this is. I mean, you try to have a good graduation ceremony, everything goes wrong, they misspell your name, the party gets like rained out, you try to go to a new place, and now the power's not on. This is just terrible.
I thought the day was ruined.
Okay,
But then, one of the guys from the retirement party found a bunch of candles.
that's
Our
nice.
two groups joined together and played Mafia, told scary stories, and waited out the thunderstorm.
Alright, so this day seems to be somewhat salvageable after all. And I like the fact that it kind of like bridges the generation gap, you know what I mean? Because oftentimes, like, elderly people are stereotyped as being like inflexible and not getting along with the more current generations. And young people are stereotyped as being, full of themselves and not caring what older people have to say. So it's nice to see that they can turn this bad situation to something good, and they can actually enjoy each other's company. This is nice. This is what I like to see.
I have to admit, it was kind of fun.
Cool.
Though my graduation day didn't turn out like I expected, I was bound and determined to view it in a positive light.
Makes
I
sense.
kept that feeling going right up until I left for college.
Okay, what's
No
gonna
matter
happen?
what, I was going to make those coming years the best of my life.
That is excellent to hear. It's like sometimes you just have to roll with the punches and you have to make the conscious choice just to see the bright side of every situation and just try to make things as good as you possibly can. Because let's be real, life will sometimes throw you a curveball or a whole lot of curveballs, and you gotta be prepared, you gotta be flexible. So glad to see that Leah is taking all this in stride and determined to live a good life.
And shake off that nasty bad luck that had plagued my childhood. My
Oh
dorm
no.
room was...
She lost her luggage too. Obviously off screen she went back to get it, but it looks like the bad luck still isn't completely gone. We'll see how this turns out. I don't know how much time we have left on this, but we'll figure out what's gonna happen.
Okay, just a little small.
That still
And
looks
I
a good
had a
amount of
nice
space.
roommate. We didn't really see much of each other because our schedules were so different, but I didn't mind. I
Okay.
figured I'd make a bunch of friends in my classes and in the clubs I planned to join. I was about...
Hold on, what did that just say? I gotta check that out. Hang on.
I figured I'd make a bunch of friends in my classes and...
Procrastinator Society. We'll meet tomorrow. Maybe. Yeah, that sounds like procrastination in a nutshell right there. I was a big procrastinator during my school years too. Like, during elementary school and middle school, it was really bad. So I can relate to this.
in the clubs I planned to join.
Okay, Flat Tire Fraternity. Activities include tire repair races. Alright, that's a very interesting club. How do you even figure out, how do you do that? How do you have enough flat tires to even make that a thing? Because I'm sure that somewhere in the real world, this might exist.
I was about halfway through the first semester before my bad luck returned with a vengeance.
Oh no, what's gonna happen?
It was a particularly cold day, and
Alright.
I decided to grab some coffee before my next class.
Good
There
plan.
was a really long line, so I knew I'd be cutting it close.
Mm-hmm.
But I was so tired that I didn't care.
Oh
When I
no.
finally got my drink, I rushed to class. But I wasn't paying attention to where I was going and tripped.
Alright, I think I might have potentially paused at the worst possible time, because I think potentially the coffee will just end up spilling all over Leah and just make her look like a complete disheveled mess when she shows up to her class. That's gotta suck. I mean, especially after she went through halfway through the first semester with no major issues, but then, boom, bad luck streak. So who knows what will happen next. Hopefully this doesn't break her spirits, because she was finally starting to turn her attitude around and her life around. So it would suck to see if it went all down the drain again.
I crashed into another person,
Okay.
spilling
Oh.
my drink all over the both of us.
Okay, this potentially might be a little bit worse. I mean, it's bad enough you spill coffee on yourself, but if you spill coffee on a stranger, yeah, I doubt that person's really gonna have a very positive opinion of you once that happens.
Thankfully, it wasn't piping hot, or
That's
we
good.
both might have gotten burned. Oh my gosh, I am so sorry.
No big deal. I wasn't fond of this shirt anyway.
Okay.
I can pay for the dry cleaning bill.
I swear, it's...
Alright, seems this guy's cool with it, but here's a question. If you really weren't very fond of the shirt, why were you wearing it? Because think about it, that really doesn't make much sense. If you don't like an article of clothing, there's no real good reason to wear it unless you have to for special occasions. Like, I doubt lots of people enjoy wearing formal wear like a tuxedo or a fancy dress, but they do it anyway. But it seems like that's not happening in this case, so why would you wear that shirt? I know I'm being a little nitpicky, but I really don't care.
fine. Are you okay?
Yeah, just embarrassed.
Understandable.
I tried to walk around him so he wouldn't notice how red my face was, but when I took a step, my ankle throbbed in pain.
Okay, yeah, this is a little bit more serious than I thought. So obviously she's like sprained or fractured something during the potential fall when she tripped. So this is not gonna end well. Is she gonna have to like miss her whole classes, like all of her classes, and like go to the hospital or something?
I fell back, and the guy caught me.
All right,
Looks like
good
you hurt your
reflexes.
foot. Let me take a look. I'm studying to be a nurse.
I
Cool.
sat down on a nearby bench and let him inspect my ankle. I grew more and more anxious as I realized that I probably would have to skip my class.
Yeah, that's what I
wouldn't miss
thought.
anything important.
It seems to be a light sprain.
That's
If you
good.
want, I can drive you to the nearest doctor.
He was so earnest and concerned that I
Mm-hmm.
momentarily forgot about how horribly my day was going.
Oh, this is nice. It looks like that Leah found potentially a new ally to help her deal with bad luck. Because I don't know where Bekah is. Presumably she's in a different college campus and won't be around to help. So this is good. It seems like this guy is a nice guy and willing to help Leah out. Wonder when we'll ever figure out what his name is.
And for the first time, I noticed how cute this guy was.
Alright,
I
got a little
think
romance
I'm
here.
just gonna get some ice for it. He unleashed his smile on me, and I felt my heart melt.
Oh, that's nice.
Okay, stay here, and I'll get some for you.
He did just that, and we ended up sitting next to each other and
Really? Really, dude? You decide to steal someone else's icy drink and use that to shove her foot right in there. I mean, you could just like bought a bag of ice from a gas station, but no, you had to be a goofball and do that. But you know, whatever gets the job done, I guess.
talking for the next half hour.
Cool.
So, what's your name?
Good question.
Sammy,
Sammy.
Thank you for all your help today, Sammy. I'm Leah.
it was my pleasure. Honestly, it was nice to be able to use what I've learned to help someone.
You know, that's something I think we can all appreciate. I mean, I think one of the things that's really a problem with school is a good chunk of the time, they teach you a bunch of factoids that you don't really use in your day-to-day life. And you're like, why am I even here? But at least in Sammy's case, he's able to apply this information to, like, you know, life outside the classroom, which I think is what all education should be. Education shouldn't just be rote memorization and grades, you know? It should be about real-world experience. So this is nice to see. But also, where did you learn that it's a good idea to shove someone's foot in an icy drink to help with a sprained ankle? I am curious what type of classes you've been attending, dude.
He fidgeted for a bit, then gave me a nervous smile.
Aw.
Would it be okay if I got your number?
Sure.
That's
My
nice.
ankle hadn't hurt so much, I would have jumped for joy.
Understandable.
After a while, I was feeling better, so I decided to head back to my dorm for the rest of the day.
Cool.
Sammy instructed me to elevate my leg.
The celebration. I gotta see it real quick.
I was feeling better, so I decided to head back to my dorm for the rest of the day.
I swear, it is like that though. When you meet someone you really like and you get a connection with, it's nice that when you get their number. I think all of us who are interested in romance, I think all of us can appreciate this moment right here.
Sammy instructed me to elevate my leg and promised to text me later and check up on me.
Cool.
I spent the evening giddily awaiting his text.
Giddily.
Then, I realized something.
What the?
Becca,
What? Hold on, I gotta see that again. What just happened in the background? Wait a minute.
and then,
Alright, this is interesting. I don't think I noticed this. Does her roommate have like spider powers or something? Is she like Spider Girl in disguise? Just like, look, she just used like a web to like grab this backpack right here. Interesting. Is this like a reference to another video that I haven't seen, or they just make up this girl having spider abilities just for fun? If anybody knows, let me know, because I'm intrigued.
I realized something.
What'd you realize?
Becca was right all those years ago.
All right.
I wasn't cursed with bad luck. I was blessed by it. If all these things didn't happen to me, I never would have had the experiences I did or met the people I know.
Yeah, you know, that is the absolute truth. And I believe that it's not only the good things that define you, it's the negative things like the adversity and the struggles that make you who you are. Everything you experience accumulates and adds to like who you are and what defines you. So this is 100% factual truth right here.
My phone chimed. It was a message from Sammy.
All right, what's it say?
How are you feeling?
I hesitated, then texted him back. Pretty lucky.
Well, guys, that was another video by MSA. Gotta say, really liked it. Very funny. I like the pacing of the story and the message at the end that, you know, you're not cursed necessarily by bad luck. Bad luck can actually be a blessing because it makes you stronger and it helps you meet good people. So hopefully we can all remember that, because let's be real, sometimes life can be a struggle, but we have to remember it's not always sunshine and rainbows, and that can potentially be a good thing, because without negative stuff, you won't appreciate the good stuff as easily, and you won't be as resilient a person if everything just goes your way all the time. So overall, great video. You know, let me know in the comments below. Do you know anyone who struggles with bad luck? And if so, how do they deal with it? And if you have any other recommendations for My Story animated reaction videos, let me know in the comments as well. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.